Let me share my screen. Let me know when you see the screen. Okay, so let's first start with union and union all. If there is how it looks in Tableau, and then we'll go ahead from there. Let me go to Tableau. Let me find the files. Okay, so I have two Excel files, database 1 union and database 2 union. Let me show these Excel files. What are they first? Okay, there are two files. Okay, I have opened database 1 and database 2. And in both the files, I have three sheets, company 1, company 2, and company 3. So in both the files, I have the same table, same columns, ID, name, and salary. ID, name, and salary. ID, name, and salary. So when I do a union, this should be my result. Okay. Let's see how it works. So I will connect to this database 1 Excel sheet, which has 3 tabs. Okay. Very simple scenario. Let's see how it works. So it's an Excel file. I'll open this database 1. Have you guys done this Philadelphia real estate transfers yet? All right. Now, how do we create a union? Normally, when you drag and drop, you drag and drop the table. Okay, and the layer what you're seeing, this is the logical layer. Okay, this is the logical layer. But if I have to union, I need to go to the physical layer. Okay, so you see, double click this logical table to see its physical table. So company one is this is at the logical layer. Now double click on it. This is the physical layer. Company one is made of one table. Now I want to union other two tables, company two. So you need to drag and drop here. If you drop it somewhere here, it will create a join. But to create a union, you see, you need to drop on top of it the moment it turns orange. Now it's made of two tables. Now I will add one more. At the bottom you can see the union is already happening, and this is the reason that I wanted. Now I will just close it. Now you see there is a change in the icon. Okay, this icon represents it's a union. Union tables are company one, company two, and company three. That's how it has been union. Okay, now this is one way of doing a union. We have the same structure, nothing happens. Now let's say I joined that company one, right? Now let's say I'll go to any one table, and let's say I'll put a column called age. In company three, I'm putting a column called age. And let's say 29, 27. Okay, now I save it. Okay, I have added one column called age in company three, but company one and company two are nothing. There is no age column. Now tell me what will happen when I try to do the join. If I just refresh this, what will happen? In SQL, what is the error you get? Hello guys.
I think so, no error. It will take the name of source table, that column.
In SQL.
But the data type is same.
No. What I've done here is in company three, I added a new column, age. So in company, there are 4 columns now. But in company one, company two, there are 3 columns each.
Again, SQL, it will not apply.
What is that error? Column mismatch, something like that. Number of column mismatch, something that. Let's see in Tableau what happened. Now I'll go here and I will just refresh this. Select it and I'll just refresh this. You see, in Tableau there is no error. Tableau just goes ahead and creates a new column, and wherever there is value available, it populates the value. Otherwise, it will be null. Tableau doesn't throw that error. Okay. So this is an advantage in Tableau. Any questions around it? Any questions you have in your mind? Let me remove this column.
Sir, if the positioning will not match with the source and target tables, it will not apply. No?
So
like in the second table, salary is on second and name is on third. Then it will not apply.
Now let me okay. Let me add a new column. Okay. And I'll say last name. Okay. Something like that. Something like that. Right? Maybe I don't know, it's last name or first name. Let me put a first name. Yeah. Okay. Let me put Andy. And here let's say something like, let's say Brian. Okay. Now let me save it. In company 3, I added a new column. Earlier it was only name, so I put a first name, which is again matching with the data type. Okay, but this column name is not present, right? Now let's see what happens. Now I'll go to company 3 and I'll refresh. Can you see something now? What do you see now?
So it automatically differentiate between what is the
Yeah.
different column and take it to the last.
Exactly. If the column name is not same, Tableau thinks no. If I do the union, then there will be a wrong result. It will not be right. So automatically it creates a new column. Isn't it smart enough?
Yeah, it will do repositioning automatically. If our column is not in sequence, then it will make a sequence over there. Na?
So basically whatever column is present in all the tables, right? It did that first and the new column it added to the last. Even though I have added it here, right, in the middle for company 3. First, it checked all the tables. What are the common columns where the column name is same? It put them first, then the new column that is added at the end. Is that the question? Rahul, is that the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, everybody is clear, right? How it is happening. All right, now let me do one thing. Now let me double click. And what I'll do here is I will just remove that company 3 for the time being, edit union. And I'll remove this and say, okay. Now, from this database 1, I'm bringing in only 2 sheets, company 1 and company 2. Let's say I have one more database 2, which is again the same data set. And this time I will get the company 3 from database 2. Let's say how it works. Okay. Now, so I have one connection here. So you can add multiple connections. So I'll go here, click add Excel and this database 2 and open. Now there is a one more connection. This you see this is in blue, this is in orange. Blue indicates a primary connection, orange indicates a secondary connection. So you can have one primary connection and multiple secondary connections. Now I will get the company 3 from database 2 union table, this sheet. Consider it's a different database. Let's say this is SQL database and this is Oracle. Just think like that. Let me rename this so that just think like that. Okay. Something like that. Now let's see. We will do the union where the one of the table is coming from a different source. What happens? Now you see when I'm trying to drop, right? That orange icon is not coming, right? Earlier it was coming. Now I'll go to database 1 and try to drop. You see that orange icon is coming. But the moment I go to the second database and try to union the company 3 with company 1 and 2, I'm not getting that option. So union will not happen if the data is coming from different sources. It has to come from the same source. So that is a limitation. Clear? Any questions, guys? Okay. All right. Now let me completely remove this. So that is one way of doing union. So there is something called a new union option here also, right? We can make use of this also. Just drag and drop. Okay. So there are two things: specific, manual. Manual means you are dragging and dropping. Okay. You're dragging and dropping, then click apply. and you will get the result. Okay, so that's the manual thing. Now let me remove this. Now let's say in a real-time scenario, you are getting data from a folder. Okay, and within that folder there are monthly files are getting loaded, and every month a new file comes, or let's say every week a new file comes. So I just need to go to that folder and bring that file in. So in that case, if it is coming from the same folder and the files are following a particular naming convention, right, we can make it a wildcard. So you bring it in the the union new union widget. There is something called wildcard. So what happens, wildcard, when you go here, it can search within a folder and looks for a particular file name. Okay, let's say your file names are stored, let's say by the month. Okay, let's say sales file April, sales file March, sales files February, sales file January. In that case, your sales file name remains constant, only the month name is changing. In our example, you see the if you look at these files, just in company 1 2 3, so company remains same, 1 2 3 is the variable. So what I can do here is, so it will look for the uh, what is the folder, right, and it is already searching in the current folder. And here what I can do is, so it's okay, so basically I will say company and put a asterisk. Okay, let's say include database one. Okay, so you can say, like, if there are any file that you don't want to include, you can exclude also, but here I just want to get it from one file in this example. And expand search to subfolders. If there are subfolders also, it can go into that subfolder and look for the file pattern that we have provided. Expand search to parent folders. It can come up also. It can go down to search. It can come up as well. It can search in the parent folders. It can search in the subfolders. Both are possible. Okay. Let's say okay. Apply. Okay. Now you see all the files have come. Everything. And now if I again edit this, it will look like the it will not look like that. It just looks for a pattern company, and it checks whether whatever it is there after company, it checks for that and it brings us the data. This is wildcard. If you know a particular file name, if you know a folder and all the file names are placed periodically into that folder, you can go ahead with this option as well. Now, once you have get the data, if you go to sheet 1, there is no difference. You will just see the column names as it is when we connect to any data source. Clear? Okay. Okay. Now this is a union. There is no union all in Tableau. It's all union. There is no union all or union concept. It is just appending. All these sources will be appended. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, does it mean that we cannot append data from two different databases?
No, you can't.
We never. Okay. Okay.
No, in Tableau you cannot. So there is no point also, right? If you why to have, I mean, it's a logic. I mean, just need to think like why to have same information into two different databases, right? So if that is happening, you can ask your database team to bring those data into the same database. Okay, so that it will be easy for you. Okay. Now we'll move on. Now we'll get into slowly into joins. Okay, so let's say I'll go to this single database join and I have same database one, and let's see what is this database one. Let me open this. Okay, I have two tables, a student and B instructors. So we want to find out which students are also instructors. Okay, which students are also instructors. So in these two tables, what is the common field which I can use to join?
Name.
Name is the common field in student and instructor. Okay, let me simply bring it in and see how it looks like in Tableau. So I will add a source now. So you can have multiple sources in Tableau. So let me bring that in. Go to, so how do I do that? Oops, I clicked on. Good that I clicked. So when you're trying to connect to any source, right, and the driver is not installed, it will tell you like download the driver first, then you can use this connector. So all this, right, whatever you're saying, these are the connectors. Okay, so SQL Server, these are like SQL Server. When you try to connect, automatically that driver also gets installed, not for all the data sources. So if you get this kind of thing where you are trying to connect to a source which are not so common, you will get this error. So in that case, you need to check with your IT team that this driver is not installed, and they will arrange for it. Okay, normally you may not directly have any access to install softwares outside, so you need to let them know so that they will make that driver available within your software center and you can install. Just I want to call that out because that thing came up. Okay, let me go to Excel. Single database join, database one. So in database one, I have two tables, student and instructor. So this is the database one. Let me bring it in student. Now I will have to do a join. Okay, so when you have to do a join, always double click on this and get into the physical layer and then do the join. So now if I drop it here, it will become a union, but I will drop somewhere else. Okay, so if you drop it somewhere else, it will try to create a join. Okay, so this is the inner join Tableau will do automatically. Now, if you click on this, it will tell you like how the join is happening and what sort of join has taken place. So now the join is happening on name automatically, you can see here. But if you feel that this is not right, you can go to this drop down and you can select the right column. Sometimes it might happen, the column name may be same, but you may not want the join to happen at that level. So in that case, you can always go here and change the field name. Similarly, here also it is getting me the field name. Now you see one difference in our table. It is only name, but here Tableau is putting a suffix the source name because field names are same. So it thinks that people might get confused. So it is adding that suffix, the source, the table name as suffix to the field. Now it is inner join, so I can see, okay, Mary and Tom, these are the two people who are also students as well as the instructors. Now let me do a left join and see how it works. My left table is student, my right table is instructor. Now you see automatically, you see Mary and Tom, they are coming from my instructor, right? So Mary and Tom are repeated here under this name because there are only two values in instructor. Sorry, not two, there are three. Student, Mike, Juliet, Mary, Tom, Jen, David, Mary, Tom. David is completely missing. What is happening to David? You see, because we are doing a left join, right? Because we are doing a left join. It is getting everything from left table, right? And the common ones from the right table. So that is why we are not seeing that David, right? Can you see that, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let me go to sheet one and see how it comes up. Now let me put name here. And this is coming from my first table. If you are joining multiple tables, it will look like this. It will bring in those table names and you will be able to use fields from that. Now, I'll put this also. Mary and Tom. Now let's say we want to put a flag who is the instructor and who is not an instructor, right? So wherever this values are coming, Mary and Tom, they are the instructors. So I need to create a new column called instructor, and I will say yes and no. What should be my calculation? In SQL, what you should have written? Let me create a calculated field. I will call it instructor. Simple. It's a very simple thing. So there is a function called isNull. It takes a string. There's something called if null. Let's see if it is there. If null. It also takes a thing. This is not possible. So what I'll write is, let's try that. Still, let me go ahead and try and see what happens so that we will come to know what is the exact error. Is null. It is working. It will work on both. Let's say, so what is the output of this, guys? It will be true false, right? Is null just checks whether there is a null value in this or not. Okay. Now let's say okay. Now you see there is a instructor, and if I just drag and drop, you see wherever it is null, right? It is saying true. If it is not null, it is giving me false. Can you see that? So instead of this true false, it will be more appropriate here if I show yes, no, right? So what I can do here is you can go to this instructor, go to aliases, and I will say false is basically yes. Here it works little, just that you need to think like why it is happening. If I do this and say okay, now you see, instead of creating a new calculated field, I use this aliases to change the values, how it is shown. At the behind the scenes, it is still true false, but this is how it is shown. It's an alias, right? In SQL, we write select column 1 as something something. So this is the same thing. Very simply, we have done it, right? Any questions? Okay. Now we have did this single database join. Very simple in scenario, we have done that. Now let's say I have a table called cross database join, and let me see what is this database 1 and 2. So let me open the database 2 now, because I have already opened that database 1. Now this database 2, okay. In database 2 also I have same table, instructor and student, okay. Let me try to do that in Tableau, whether it works or not, right? So in this case, what I will do here is, again, I will go to Excel. I'm just adding these two sources separately now. Database 1, okay, and I will get student, okay, and I'll go to sheet, and I'll go to new sheet now. You see this one earlier I had combined student and instructor where we created that left join. Now I have separately added student database 1. Also, I need to add separate, just think that the instructor table, which is here, is coming from a different source. Okay, how that works. If it's coming a different source, you need to add it first. Now I will go to this, let's say cross database join, and I'll get the database 2. And I'll go to, and in from this, I will just bring it like that. Let's see what happens. Now, you see there are two. This is instructor and this is student. So there are two sources available. But now what I want to do here is, let me go to the source again. Okay, leave it. I'll do it in a different way. Let me close this one. So basically, I want to do what I want to do is this. I want to do a cross database. So the first database is basically a student, where I have brought only the student information from database one. Now I'll go to data source, and here I will add a connection. Cross database join database 2. Okay, this is my database 2. Okay, now what I will do here is I have already dragged and dropped student. You look at the color. This is coming from the first database. Now I want to bring in the instructor information from database 2. Okay, let's see how it works. In Union, it was not possible, right? But let's see join what happens in Tableau. Now, if I just drop it here, you see join is possible. Union is not possible if it is coming from two different sources. Okay, so that is a limitation between union and join if it's coming from two different sources. Then you can do all these operations, whatever you want, inner, left, right, whatever you want, you can do. So that's just a call out that if you are doing the union from two different sources, not possible, but cross database join can happen. If there is a join possible between those two sources, you can do that. Okay, this is called cross database join, because I'm doing a join wherein you are adding connections. Here also you can have more than one connection. One becomes your primary connection, the others will become your secondary connection. The secondary connection will be marked in orange color at the start of the name. The primary connection will have the blue color. So that's how here also you can see like what is happening. I hope it is clear, right? This is a join symbol, how it looks. All right. All right, now let's get into a scenario. Okay. Okay. Let me open a new tab now. Here also you see this marking blue and orange. You will know like which column is coming from which connection, so that you will know it. Let me save this first.
Unmesh sir,
Yes.
I have a question in union. So in the union, the Tableau, okay, will take consideration of column name or the data type only.
Take what?
Like we have two tables. Okay, in first table we have three columns called ID, name, and salary. Okay, and in the second table we still have the three column ID, name, and salary. Okay, but in the second table we just rename the column, like name to salary and salary to name. Data type will be same. We just swipe the name, column name,
Okay.
and try to append them. Then
yeah, let's see that. Good question. Now this is the database 2, database 1. So let me do that. Okay, ID, name, and salary. ID, name, and salary. In the last table, I'll make it salary, and I'll just flip. Okay. Is this the question?
yes sir, yes sir.
Okay, good. So what I will do here is I'll just add them as a source again. Database 1, I think I did. Right? Not this one. I think database 2, that is right. I did. This is database 2. Okay. When you don't want anything, just right click and close it. Do not keep multiple data sources if it is not required. It will create a trouble in the sense your performance may degrade. So you just remove the unnecessary sources always. Have I saved it? Okay. Now what will happen? Let's see. Company 1. I just opened it. Company 2. And I'll put company 3. Let's see the result. Now let me show this also. Is this the one? ID, salary, name in company 3, and I've saved it also. Let me refresh this. Maybe after that I may not have refreshed. You see what is happening.
It's getting confused now.
Yeah, because the data type doesn't match. Does it answer your question?
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Oh. Okay, let me save this. All right, now let me get into a new scenario. I'll close these sheets. Okay, now what I will do here is okay, now let's say I have a scenario like this. Let's say I have a sheet called Amazing Mart EU. Okay. Now let me open this. Now you see that I have 3 sheets in this list of orders, order breakdown, and sales target. Now list of order is like order ID, order date, consumer name, city, country, region, ship mode, state. Order breakdown is again order ID, product name, discount, sales, profit, quantity, category, subcategory, and there is a target column called sales target. Month of order date, category, and target. So here the sales target is at a category level and at a month and year level. Like for each month of that year, what should be the sales target, right? So if I have to compare whether we are meeting the sales target or not, I need to analyze these 3 sheets and how do I do it? So what do you think, like how can we combine these sheets so that I can find out whether we are meeting targets every month or not? How do we do that? List of order. So list of order and order breakdown. How can I combine them? What should be the field?
Order ID.
Order ID, right? Because list of orders has order ID for each date and order breakdown. Again, this order ID is broken down. What are the products, what are the discount sales and everything. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Okay, sorry guys. Now these 2 tables I can join at a order ID level. Now there is something called sales target. Now how do I compare the sales target to these tables? What should be my common field? What should be the field?
Category.
Sorry.
Category, I guess, the same field.
Category. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and see what is happening. Okay. All right. Let me bring them in. Okay. Now I'll go to Tableau. Okay, I'll connect to this data. This is an Excel file. Oops. Okay, now I'll bring in list of orders. Double click. Now I'll go bring in order breakdown. Okay. Now this is happening at order ID level already, right? So I will not do anything. Also, there is something called sales target. Now, how it is happening? Using category, as you said, right? Let us see how it is working, whether we are getting the desired result or not. So basically, how are we want to see it? Basically, I want to compare by month and year and also category, whether we are meeting the targets for my sales. Now, I will try to create the visualization at the same level. Okay, now I have my category, right? I'll use it as a filter. Let's say show filter. Okay, now I have my month and year. I have my order date. I'll put it here, month, and I have my actual sales, which is coming for my order breakdown. I'll put it here, and let me make it a bar chart for now. These are my actual sales, right? January 2011. Let's say I'll go to furniture. Okay. Now January 2011, it is showing 262,896. Okay, 262,896. Let's see how it is coming up. This is my sales value, order breakdown. January 2011 for furniture, it is 262,896. Is it okay or not? That's what I need to check. But if I look at the sales target for January 11, it is 10,000. So it looks like we are doing much more, much better, right? From that. Now this is my order ID, right? And this is there is order date here. Okay. Now let me do one thing, and this is my okay. Let me do one thing. Let me put a filter here. All DFF. Okay. So January 2011. And see what are the different, how many order, we have 36 order IDs here, right? And there are so many months. January, it's all January, right? So if I have to do that, it will be very difficult here, right? Let's say, but my sales values, what are my sales values? If I add all of it also, how much it is coming? Okay. Now let me put a filter here, all DFF, and whatever I selected, I've selected furniture. Just check for furniture what it is coming. The entire sales is 638,809. 638,809 for all. This is my all the months, right? I mean, I'm not putting any filter here on any order ID or any month. So 638,809. Now what it is coming here? 262,896. Something is not right. I mean, whatever overall I'm just checking. So that January alone, it is giving me something like this. Something is not correct because my entire sales, like 2001 to 2014, because entire sales here is 6 million or 6,38,000 something, and in January itself I am getting the value 2,62,000. Something is not right. So these kind of problems come up when the join is not happened correctly. So what would be happening is a lot of repetition of rows would be happening. Okay, so that's it's happening because we may not have joined at the right level. Okay, so when you are joining, it is always important to know what is the level of your data, what is the granularity of the data. Then only you should be able to join properly. Otherwise, you will get erroneous results. For January 2011, it should be very, very less because for my entire year, it is 6,38,000. But when I joined, it is for January only it is giving. But if I add all of it, it should be 638 something for furniture. But how much I am getting? 30 lakhs something, right? It is around 5 times. So here itself, I know that there is some problem with the join. Now let us go to the table and let's figure out where we have gone wrong. List of orders and order breakdown. You understood, right? What is happening, or that's not clear?
Got it, sir.
Got it, right? Now this is list of orders and this is order breakdown. Both are at the same level, order ID level. Okay. Both are at the order ID level. So I can join them. No problem. I can join. Now let's say I'll go to that join. I'll go to this source. And now what I will do, edit, double click, and I'll just remove the sales target. I'll just remove the sales target and see. Now we'll go and see what is happening here. Now January 2011, can you see something now? There is a drastic change in the number. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now if I add all of it, 636,527 for furniture. Okay, 636,527. Let me only select furniture. Almost, right? It should be close, but some order ID may be missing here and there, so that is fine. Maybe if I do a left join, it will, I mean, here it is little more because might be some of the order IDs may not be present in the list of orders, which is highly unlikely. But yeah, in this case it is happening, so we can just consider this scenario and still go ahead. Now I am very close. I'm very close and I'm getting the result. Only 2000 difference, so something is not. But here it is almost correct. So now the culprit is with this sales target table. When we remove this sales target from my join, now it appears to be working fine. Now let me go here for January. Okay, it's okay. Now how do I bring this sales target? We first joined at a category level. That's where all the problem happened. The reason being, if you look at this category furniture is present across, right? A lot of furniture categories are present. So when you joined this two table with category, it did a many to many join. That is why our results were multifold, 5 times more. Something was happening because we didn't provide the right level. So in join, it's very important. You need to identify what is the right level. These two are at order ID level, but this is at a category as well as year month level. I cannot just join at a category level. I need to bring in this order month at this level, year month level. Okay. So what will happen here in this case, right? I need to bring these two at a year month level and category level, then only we can do that. We can combine this, right? Otherwise we can't. We need to bring at the same level both the sources. So these two can be joined at the order ID level. This is at a higher level, which is basically year month level and furniture level. So I need to bring these two at a year month and a category level, then only I can do this. So now in Tableau there is a way around. There are two ways. I mean, before 2020.1, There was no relationship concept in Tableau. Relationship concept came in very late. Before that, there was something called blending. Okay, blending we used to do when we used to get data from different sources where join is not possible. That is one scenario where we used to do blending. The second scenario is when the data is at a different granularity. Data is at a different granularity. Then there also we used to do join. Now, before coming into this scenario, let me do a simple table here. Let me create a simple table. Let's say city and let's say visitors. Let's say city A, B, C. D. Let's say 4 cities are there and visitors like 200, 250 or 150, 250, 300. Let's say these are the cities and these are my visitors. Okay, I'll have one more sheet. I'll have the same instruction, but let's say the second sheet is a target sheet. Okay, let's say this is a target sheet and this is the actual. Just think like that. Okay? Now, let's say what is happening. Let's say A also there, 100, 200. Again, A is there, 300. B is there, 250, something like that. Okay, there are 4 cities and I have the visitor information captured at different times. And these are the different visitors that have visited these particular cities. Now I have the target. I put in the target. Not a problem. I'll just copy this and put it into actual. These are my actual information, and they say, let's say these are my target information. And let's say what is my A values. Let's say target is, let's say 800. For B it's, let's say 600, C it's 400, and D it's 500, something like that. These are my target information. Now I want to find out whether I have joined, whether I have met the targets or not, right? How it works. Let's say what I will do here is, let's say let's create a join and see how it works. Okay, this scenario is clear, right? Whatever it is, very simple scenario. Before getting into that actual blending topic, I want to explain you to the simple scenario. Now I will join that. I'm going to the old sheet. Let me bring them in. Let me save this first. Okay, now let me connect to the file. Now this is my actual and the other one is my target. And if I do this join, automatically it will join on city because that is the common. See, this is the problem happens. So you need to go here and change so that you will get the right result. Now let's see how it comes up. I'll go to sheet, new sheet, and this is the actual versus blending. I'll put city here, ABCD, and this is my visitors, which is my actual value, and also I'll put my visitors target. Now let's see what is happening. Is it true? For A, my target is 2400. It is showing. Okay, it is showing 2400. Let me go to this. A is target actually 800. You see why it became 2400? Why it is coming as 2400? Any idea?
Or is it taking 800 for each A?
Yes, because this is many to one is happening here. A is repeated 3 times here, right? So for each 800, it is repeating that. That is why we are getting 2400. So in join, because we did a join. So in join, what happens? First the join happens, then aggregation happens, right? First it is joined at a row level, whatever your common field, then the aggregation has happened. So it is giving me this result. Okay. So it may not be correct here, right? So in this case, I'm just giving you an example why and where the blending will be helpful. Now what I will do here is I will again bring these uh, uh, tables separately. Now once I get for actual, okay, in blending you have to treat them separately. Actual, one table is actual. Okay, now I will bring in um, the target also. Go to sheet 5. Now these two, blending example and target blending example. Now let me bring in city, and now I will bring in the visitor information from the other table. Now actual, I'll get to visitor. In visitor I was not having any problem, but the visitor target had a problem. Okay, now this target. Now you see there is something is happening here. Now let me bring in the visitor here. Are you seeing the right result now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is blending. In blending, what is happening? First the aggregation happens, then they are combined. In join, what happens? First the join happens, then they are combined. So the repetitions happened, then the aggregation happens. So it has created a problem. But in blending, what happens? In this example, this is one table and this is other table. So the blending always happens at the key. In this case, it is city. You see at the city level, since it's a common field, there is a linking field. So the blending happens at a linking field level. So the aggregation also first happens at the linking field level, then they are combined. So what is my linking field? City. So both the tables are combined first. I mean, first aggregated first at that city level. So it has become 700 now. A is what? 700, right here. So it became 700 for all of it. It got aggregated. Then they are combined. That's why there is no repetition happened. Because for this also, for each city, there is one row. It is combined first. Understand that it is combined first. What I'm saying, it is aggregated first. So this will become cancel. So this will not be combining with like this. It will first aggregated. So A will become 700, right? And B, how many? 150, 250, it will become 400. C, D will remain as it is. So this is the structure before the blending happens. 700, 400, 250, 300. 700, 400, 250, 300. Once that is done, then only they will be combined. Combined means you can think of it as join, but first the aggregation will happen, then they are combined. But in join, what happens? First the join happens, then the aggregation. So the repetitions are already coming into picture. So you will use blending when there is difference in the granularity between two tables and when there is data is coming from multiple sources. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Hello guys, sorry for that. Actually, we need to stop here today. The plumber has come, and I need to, get something. So let's meet again tomorrow. You have any class at the morning, same time?
No objection till now.
No class.
So till now, there is no information, sir.
Okay, let me check. If not, we will complete this scenario tomorrow. Okay, so I've just given you a little bit of background how this blending works, how it is different from join, and we'll complete that. We'll complete it tomorrow. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.